Hello, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Chandler Pruitt here to give you an overview of what you can expect tonight on tonight's show, Friday edition. Taking a live look at Doak Campbell Stadium. Current conditions, 87 degrees and partly cloudy. Quite enjoyable out there. Low humidity, we'll get to that here in a second. So really enjoyable and brisk conditions. 88 here in Tallahassee with a little bit warmer temperature in Perry, but overall 80s everywhere. And looking at the muggy meter, we have very enjoyable conditions here in Pensacola and Tallahassee. But once we get into the Florida Peninsula, that's when things start to get really muggy really fast and make it a little less comfortable. On tonight, we can expect 69 as our low and partly cloudy skies with winds coming out of the northeast at 4 miles per hour. And for tonight's headlines, we'll talk about the less rain this weekend, the tropics, and tomorrow's game. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Hello, Tallahassee, and welcome to the Friday edition of FSU Weather. Right now, we've had quite a week here, coming in with a cold front and an ongoing drought and even a tropical storm. But the main weather story for us here in the city is these nice cool temperatures that you've seen come into the area, and this mugginess has really gone away with this cold front. Honestly, I have to say the last time I felt temperatures this cold, it feels like the dinosaurs were still walking on the earth. But we really see this cold front making conditions pleasurable for us. It's right now going to be in the 70s and 60s with dew points even lower than that. So we're seeing these conditions really feeling like fall here in September, something you don't often get to say here in Tallahassee. In other news, in the United States, an ongoing drought is still affecting many areas out west. So we are watching for potentially maybe some rain that is currently going on in the area to help a little bit, but that drought is still very severe, so it's unlikely to leave anytime soon. Also, we had a tropical storm come through the region, I'm sure as you all noticed. Tropical Storm Mindy was a big rainmaker for us and helped bring us a little bit more humidity over the past few days, but now that it is gone, we are able to experience these very nice conditions for us here. And finally, we still have more rain to come though, and it isn't over for us. Even though we do have this very nice and cool day for us, we are expecting more rain in the forecast. So don't let your guard down just quite yet for that humidity and that rainfall. But we'll cover all of these topics in this show and tell you more about next week's forecast and for this game tomorrow. From the desk, I'm Robert Zott with your week recap on Friday. We're now going to toss off to the wall with Jesse for your local weather.
Not that bad. It felt a lot warmer than that to me when I was walking to class for sure. Earlier today, we actually saw temperatures at 57, which is extremely cool. Hint of fall as we're getting through September. I cannot wait for the temperatures to cool down even more as we go throughout the semester. Tonight, we're looking at a temperature of 87 right now, partly cloudy, although right now you can see that sun shining through behind me right over Doak Campbell Stadium. Fairly clear skies. So really not much to worry about there. On the radar, there's also not much to worry about here in Tallahassee. No rain in our area, although if you look a little bit further to the east of us, there is a little bit of spotted showers and even some lightning popping up over there. So if you do live over in the Cross City or even further east towards Gainesville, something to watch out for as you go throughout the night and make your Friday night plans. Currently in Tallahassee, 88, really seeing temperatures in the high 80s all throughout the region. Down in Apalachicola, a little bit cooler at 85 degrees. Once again, that sun's just shining over our entire Big Bend region. So really a beautiful evening. Temperatures, they may be in the high 80s, but can't complain too much. Could be a lot worse. Wind speeds are coming mostly from the west, some westerly flow. And then even in Tallahassee, we're seeing some winds from the north heading down to the south. And then obviously in Apalachicola, you got that little bit of sea breeze coming up on shore at 8 miles per hour there. Little breezy, but once again, nothing worth mentioning. Dew points in Tallahassee have gotten a lot lower. If you watched the show last night, you would have seen them up in the low 70s, maybe high 60s. Right now we have 59 in Tallahassee. These lower dew points mean that the temperature is not feeling quite as hot. And looking further south, we've got a little bit more moist air down in Apalachicola and Sumatra. But here in Tallahassee, it's really feeling a lot better and a lot less muggy outside. Looking at our future radar over the next 24 to 48 hours, we're going to see clouds flow in and out of our area, especially when we're looking into tomorrow afternoon. And right before the game, right here, we're seeing all these spotted showers. Fingers crossed, it'll be clear for tomorrow night. We're going to talk more about that later in the show. Tonight, it's going to get down to 71 here in Tallahassee. A little cooler up north at Bainbridge and Thomasville. We're looking at 69 and 68 degrees. Once again, wonderful fall temperatures. If you have evening plans, take advantage of these conditions because who knows how long they're going to stay around. Tonight, we're looking at the skies going to be a little partly cloudy, so maybe not the best evening for stargazing, but once again, really perfect weather if you're going to be planning on being outside at all. Beach forecast down in Panama City Beach. I know I have friends there this weekend. It's actually gorgeous out there today as well. 86, 73 for the water temperature, and doesn't look like the UV index is that high either. As for the week ahead, we're going to see the temperatures stay pretty constant in the mid to high 80s as you go throughout the week. Lows stay in the 70s, and rain chances also stay pretty low as we go throughout the week as well. Passing things off to Chandler now, who's going to give us a look around the southeast.
That is right. Taking a more broad perspective, a broad view, look at our neighbors in Gainesville, 81 degrees, but they're a little more on that muggy side, so they don't get to enjoy our conditions. You got Atlanta, Georgia, 78 degrees. Again, partly cloudy skies. They have very beautiful conditions as well. Blacksburg, even colder. And Bowling Green, 79. So very enjoyable conditions in the southeast. Definitely doesn't look like summer. Looking at the showers, we have some showers out in the south, deep south, close to central Florida, but nothing once you look out across the rest of the southeast. But zooming in on Florida, we can see some of these showers that are percolating, causing some heavy rain around Daytona Beach and Orlando. So again, there is that rain involved if you are in this area. Definitely take an umbrella. Current conditions, temperatures, well, we have 90s out in the west, so they don't get to enjoy the conditions as much. But once we get over here close to Charleston and Atlanta, beautiful conditions, low 80s, even upper 70s. And then taking a look at the wind speeds, we have some winds coming out of the north for Birmingham and here in Tallahassee as well. And then you can take a look and see that Little Rock has some winds coming out of the southeast. And dew points, pretty enjoyable dew points across most of the southeast until you get into Florida, sticking out with that green thumb. And looking at that water vapor, well, this shows how dry the atmosphere is. And currently we have a very dry atmosphere across the southeast and into Texas. But once you get over into Florida, associated with those showers, we have a little more moisture in the atmosphere. And looking at the next few hours, next 24 in fact, we have this system that potentially will bring some tropical rain to parts of Texas, maybe even New Orleans. But we also have some more pop-up showers that you're used to in Florida. The summer pop-up showers are always the story. For tonight, you can expect 60s for the most part in Mississippi, Alabama, and South Carolina. But once you get into Florida, that's when we don't cool down at all, and we stay at 77 degrees. And that's partially due to the fact that with these summer showers and this rainy condition, we have a little more of a tendency to have a blanket around us. And basically, the clouds will trap that heat and not allow us to cool off at night. And in the tomorrow's highs, we can see 80s across most of the area. Rinse and repeat of today, but pretty enjoyable conditions still. And now I'll take things to Jess.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Florida, kind of zooming in. We'll start off with this view of Panama City Beach. Looks pretty bright over there. I don't know about you guys. Looks like they have a pretty clear sky as you get a little bit further west of us. Once again, here we're looking at pretty clear skies for tonight as well. Satellite and radar of Florida shows, once again, dry air up where we are, but down south, lots of showers, especially just in between I-75, I-95. We got showers all through, including Daytona Beach as well, and looks down through Orlando. They're just getting pounded with rain, and even some storms it looks like there as well. As you look at the tip of Florida, looks like storms in Miami as usual. These storms just moving straight across the state from west to east. So keep an eye out if you have plans tonight to be outside, as lightning can strike from up to 10 miles away from a storm cloud. So keep an eye out and just keep that in mind and always be weather aware. Current temperatures across the state, pretty uniform up here in North Florida. We got 86 in Pensacola, and the further east you get, that's when you see those clouds, and the further south you get, you see a lot of that rain. So here in Tampa, we got 88, a little bit warmer in Orlando with 92, and those storms there as well. You can see that all throughout South Florida. 91 in Miami, and then it looks like maybe 92 in Key West to top it all off. Here's your favorite, the Muggy Meter. Here in Tallahassee, we're all smiles. I'm smiling too because it felt amazing today. But the further south you get, the worse it gets. Miami, disgusting as usual. Just really humid there. I'm not upset that we are in North Florida for the current time being. Over the next 24 hours, we're going to see all these clouds come in and out of Florida. Up in the Panhandle, it's going to get a little shaky. We might see a little bit of rain. And it looks like down in the southern portion of Florida, they're going to see a lot of rain, a lot of showers, and even some thunderstorms. So this is Sunday evening. We're looking at a lot of showers down here, Tampa, Fort Myers, and Miami, and Key West. Just a lot of rain on and off over the weekend. As for tonight, temperatures in the 70s for the majority of the Panhandle. I know Chandler was talking about how that's not cool enough, but I cannot complain. I mean, as long as we're not seeing 90s up here, I mean, I'm happy. I still think it's going to be a beautiful night if you want to go out and have plans. Obviously, as long as you're not in South Florida. Looks like it might be storming in Key West, so maybe not the brightest idea. But even in Tampa, we got 76 for Tampa and Fort Myers, 80 over West Palm Beach, and 80 in Miami as well as we're going into tonight. So just really looking pretty good. As for tomorrow, temperatures are going to be back up into the mid-80s. We got 88 here in Pensacola, and as you go further south, we're seeing temperatures remain at the same, 87 in Tampa and 88 in Orlando. And down south, we got 80s and low 90s. For Miami, we're seeing temperatures in the 80s along with storms. Tampa, you're going to have a little bit less of a rain chance as you go into tomorrow. Orlando, you're going to be getting rain over the next few days. And as for Jacksonville, also looks like you're going to be getting some clouds and rain as well. Although the whole state of Florida, I think we're pretty lucky to have as little rain as we do. What do you think, Robert?
Yeah, I definitely do have to say that right now this sort of dry condition we have here is very nice for us here in Florida. I think I'm going to split the difference between you and Chandler, actually, Jesse. I do agree that this whole 70s regime we have going on is quite nice compared to our 90s. However, I will say that I would wish our dew point is just a little bit drier, but that might be me as a picky Texan. However, right now on our surface map, you can really see the reason why it's so dry and cool here right now. Look at this big cold front going all the way down the Gulf Coast. That has moved through the region, and it is giving us very, very nice conditions right now. And this high pressure is serving to block any sort of storm activity from our region. And as you can see, most of the eastern half of the United States is pretty rain-free right now. Maybe a few showers for you guys up in Maine and into New Hampshire possibly. But most of the rain, surprisingly, is now off towards the west, where you have quite a lot of rain for you guys in the mountainous areas in the Rocky Mountains. So hopefully that'll help with the drought a little bit, though we're going to need to get quite a little more rain to see more change with this drought. Looking at the satellite radar, you can see quite a lot of cloud cover also associated with this rain complex. For most of the nation, it is still very clear and dry. Maybe for you in Central and South Florida, some more rain and showers. But also, if you look towards the top right here of our graphic, you can see Hurricane Larry coming towards Newfoundland and Labrador. That is going to be a threat for them coming soon. There is hurricane warnings and watches issued for them right now. So if you are in that area, please heed those warnings. It is going to be a hurricane landfall projected by the National Hurricane Center. So please take all your precautions. Right now, looking at our satellite and radar, however, here back domestic, we're going to take it up to you guys, Seattle, Portland, quite a bit of rain, particularly just east of you guys in the more flatter areas of those states, but it is going to be quite a good bit of rain. Maybe not the most heavy rain, but it is still something good for you guys right now, something we need to see. As we move over towards the northeast, fairly dry conditions towards New York and towards Ohio. However, as we do make it our way up towards Maine, we are seeing more of those more spotty showers, though that is also moving out of your region. Looking towards the nice Central Plains area, dry weather for all. It's not really much to say here except for maybe some showers and thunderstorms for you guys in Utah peeking through, but most of us are going to see extremely dry conditions, which is very nice for us right now because we are starting to transition into this fall setup. Now, let's take this back to the big picture. Let's look at what's going on here. a lot of these dry conditions are making it easier for us to enjoy these more warmer temperatures right now because we don't have that added mugginess coming with us. So 92 in DFW, maybe not the best, but we'll take it for September, particularly because it is drier now. Moving off towards the northeast, you can see most 70s for you guys, 74 Detroit, 73 in Boston. So again, fairly nice conditions for us in September. Moving towards Florida, a little bit on the warmer side, seeing some 80s, 84, 85. Again, more warmer conditions, but this is still very nice for us right now because our dew points are a little bit lower than we usually have here. And then finally, looking off towards the west, we're seeing Seattle, San Francisco, enjoying those beautiful 60s you guys have there. Maybe a little bit warm towards Los Angeles, and as per usual, Arizona is on the very warm side, so we are sending out our heartfelt prayers for you guys there because it is going to be very warm there. You aren't getting on those nice cold temperatures like the rest of the nation, but as a whole, it is still to be expected that we see some of this heat here in September. But finally, tomorrow's highs for us, we're going to see 95 in Denver, a little bit warmer towards the Central Plains here. Going to see a little bit of cooling off, though, for you guys in the Northeast, still some 70s. So again, very nice conditions, still fairly dry, but as a whole, just a very nice map for us here in September. Isn't that right, Chandler?
That is great to see. Awesome to see fall coming back. And guess what also came back? Football. It's only been a couple weeks since the college football. The NCAA started playing their games, and NFL just started on Thursday. So let's get to talking about this. Friday night, well, tonight, we have a block party to celebrate and get ready for tomorrow's game. We have a block party featuring Velcro Pygmies between 6 and 10 p.m. So get out there, enjoy and party. Get ready for tomorrow and cheer on those Noles. And looking at Saturday, well, temperatures will slowly decrease. We have at 8 p.m., 79 degrees, 10 p.m., 77 degrees, and once we get towards midnight and the end of the NFL, or end of our game, it's going to be 75 degrees. So overall, pretty enjoyable. And looking at the future radar, we could potentially see some showers roll in starting Saturday morning, and we'll have that cloud cover start to really wrap in until about this time Saturday. We could expect that it will clear out a little more. But that's all I have for you. We'll take it back to the wall.
Right, thank you, Chandler. We are going to have a look at our local conditions again. We have been talking quite a bit about this situation here with having this nice dry weather. Let's actually have a look at our almanac. Looking at our high and low, high of 76 is just right on average. Our low of 57 is actually a little bit above average, but it definitely doesn't feel like that. For sure, it is definitely feels a little bit cooler than we usually have here. But the reason why that is because that dew point is so low. Looking at those records, we didn't really approach 98 quite, and I think everyone's quite fortunate for that. 54, we actually did get quite close to that in 1945. Right now, our live look at Doak, you can see a very cloudless sky, maybe just a few partly cloudy for us here. 87 degrees and a wind from the north-northwest at about 9 miles per hour. So that wind coming from the north, bringing that drier air towards us, is really making these conditions very nice for us here in Tallahassee. But right now, we're going to see this current radar showing us just how dry it is here. This is just some ground clutter here on the radar, nothing actually here in the metro. But it does show this northern wind coming towards us, giving us this nice dry weather. Now, the story for the rest of Florida is it is a little bit cooler, but it is a little bit more moist than us here in North Florida. And as you can see, these storms are starting to make their way out of the Gainesville area, but you can still see a few pop-up showers throughout the rest of the day, and expect it to be just a little bit warmer than we have here in Tallahassee, of course, because we have the best weather in Florida. Hour by hour, looking at our weather today, you can see that it was going to be in the 80s for most of the day today. However, if you were out taking a walk in the morning, definitely a little bit nicer for you, seeing in that going down to 70 degrees there around 7 and 8 a.m. today. So very nice conditions for us here today. But let's have a look at your week ahead right now. Very nice conditions, maybe a little bit on the rainy and wet side, 80s for most of our highs and 70s for most of our lows. So let's enjoy it. Florida might be a little more humid, but really enjoying these nice, not 90-degree temperatures. Isn't that right?
Oh yes, I am very much looking forward to the weather getting cooler as we go on. But for now, I'm going to jump right into the tropics as we look at what's going on. We've had kind of a crazy season so far. I feel like we had a slow start, but all of a sudden, we've knocked off half the names really on our list. All of these names we've already gone through, all from Anna all the way through Mindy, I guess, excluding Larry. We're still going to talk about Larry tonight. But all of you guys saw Mindy come through about 2 days ago. Yesterday morning, we were able to see Mindy just sweep right on through. Rained really hard. Definitely go check out the show from last night. Robert and Chandler got some great footage from Mindy. But today we're going to continue on with our current storms, which is this monster of Larry. It's currently just sitting at a Category 1. It's really weakened a lot over the last 24 hours. Wind's still at 80 miles per hour, and it's about to slam right into Newfoundland. So definitely keep an eye out as you're going into your evening and tomorrow, as this thing is going to just continue to plow its way up north. It's expected to make landfall really early tomorrow morning at 3:30 local time, which is a little bit ahead of our time zone. Tomorrow morning with 75 mile per hour winds. So still a Category 1 storm as it's making landfall. This is still a really significant storm, so definitely keep an eye out and adhere to all your local warnings and watches. Here's a look at that water vapor, which this storm is just continuing to weaken as it goes forward, but it still has all that moisture in it. And behind it, this dry air is going to be seen all over the northeastern portion of the United States. Really, that hurricane just taking all the moisture out of the region. Zooming back out, we're able to see actually a little area of disturbance that we're going to be zooming into next. It's actually right here, 70% chance of formation over the next 5 days. It's expected to just travel right over the Yucatan Peninsula and possibly reform in the Gulf. It's just going to be a really messy system that's going to continue to move north and possibly impact our area just with some rain over the next few days. This is really the system that's just bringing all this mess up into the Gulf and even portions of the southeast. Something that's going to help this storm strengthen a little bit and possibly get its act together is how warm our sea surface temperatures are. So a lot of these pinks and reds, we're seeing warmer sea surface temperatures, which are obviously going to help strengthen a hurricane as it moves forward. Sea surface temperatures off the coast of Africa also looking pretty good in terms of development for a storm, like one like this, which is just starting right off the coast of Africa, a nice little tropical wave. It's expected to possibly form the next 5 days. We have 70% chance of formation. So this is definitely going to be one to keep an eye on for all of you guys. Definitely just keep an eye on FSU Weather and other local stations, as we're going to keep an eye on the tropics for you guys. I'm going to pass things back off to Robert now.
Right. Thank you, Jesse. Of course, we always have to keep an eye on the tropics, but right now here in Tallahassee, we are enjoying, as I said earlier, a very cloud-free day. And as Mindy went through, we have no tropical troubles at the moment. But again, it is always very helpful to stay informed and continue watching them, because you can really never trust anything out in the ocean right now at the peak of hurricane season. Again, I said right now it is very nice, but we're also watching out for the Friday night block party in College Town. It's going to be 69 degrees, partly cloudy, winds from the northeast at 4. So a really nice day to go out, or really, night to go out and enjoy that block party in College Town. It's not too far from campus either. Dog walk forecast, however, the classic here in FSU Weather. You need to know when you're supposed to walk your dog. Well, I'm going to tell you, 9 a.m. is a pretty good time, 74 degrees, maybe a few clouds, if you don't want to wake up particularly early. But if you do want to savor those 4 extra degrees of temperature, well, 4 negative degrees of temperature from 74, I think I know how to do math. 70 degrees is a lot nicer. 7 a.m. it is going to be some clouds in the sky. So make sure you get your dog walked on this day. It is going to be very nice. And you're going to have really no worry of burning your dog's paws if you walk at those really nice temperatures. Saturday, we do have a game coming up. Florida State at Jacksonville, 79, 77, 75. Beautiful conditions. Make sure to support our team coming out. And finally, for our 3-day into the weekend, 80s and 70s for most of us. We do have a small chance of rain, but very nice conditions for us here in Tallahassee. So make sure to savor the weekend.
Absolutely. But let's take a current look at what we are seeing outside our windows. Currently, 76 degrees was our high, 57 was our low. Our average is around 76, and our average is about 50. So again, somewhere around average for today, maybe a little bit above average for our low, but definitely nowhere near the record. So that's at least an enjoyable sight to see. Live look at Doak Campbell. We can see 87 and partly cloudy skies with winds coming out of the north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. I know when I was coming here to the studio, I was getting a little bit blown away. It was nice. It was very enjoyable, keeping us a little cool on a summer day. Taking a look here, there's just radar clutter like Robert mentioned. Nothing to see here in the Big Bend, but once you start getting close to Lake City, that's when you can see a few showers racing towards the southeast. And by hour, well, we started off very cool this morning, 70 degrees at 7 and 8 a.m. That's quite enjoyable. And then we warmed our way up to 87 by 1 p.m. and held steady there until about now. And we'll expect to cool down here quite shortly. And looking at the current temperatures again, 88 in Tallahassee, but we are also 85 here in Apalachicola, 85 in Bainbridge. So a little bit of discrepancy, but overall it is the 80s that are ruling. But, even more so a but, we have 59-degree dew points here in Donaldsonville, which is quite enjoyable for this time of year, and 59 in Tallahassee, so we're getting in on that action as well. But once you start getting closer to the coast, it is going to get a little bit muggier, 67 in Apalachicola. And the wind directions, well, we have winds coming out of the north, which is helping with those dew points and keeping them steady. For tonight's lows, well, we can expect somewhere around 70 for most of the viewing area, with the exception of Apalachicola. You guys might see a little more cloud coverage, which will aid in keeping you guys on the warmer side. The beach forecast, 86 degrees, 73 in the water. That's quite enjoyable, so get out there tomorrow and enjoy the sunshine. We'll have winds coming out of the south-southeast at 7 knots, 3 UV index, so that's not too terribly bad. And looking at the surf, 2 to 4 feet, so not too terribly rough either. Definitely recommend going out onto the beach. Looking at tonight in Tallahassee, 69 degrees and partly cloudy. So get out there and enjoy that block party. And looking at the 7-day, well, we'll start off the weekend with 87s, rinse and repeat, and we'll get into the weekday, again, pretty much the same story until you get towards Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday when rain might increase. But we'll take it back to the desk with Jess.
What's up, guys? I'm just here to close the show for the night. A couple things to remember as you're going into the week. First of all, the tropical development just southwest of us. Definitely keep an eye on that. May impact some weekend plans and into the beginning of the week as those rain chances increase throughout the week as well. Might just want to keep an umbrella on you. I know I keep mine in my backpack every day on the way to class. Another thing to remember, obviously, the game tomorrow. I know tickets were sent out today. Hopefully all of you were able to get one. And if you're able to go to the game and support our Noles, temperatures should be absolutely beautiful. Once again, maybe a slight chance for a sprinkle of rain, but it's looking really good, looking like it's just going to be a nice, cool evening, maybe a few clouds in the area. I will be at the game tomorrow, so I hope to see you all there as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU Weather. You can also like us on Facebook as well, facebook.com/FSU Weather. Hopefully you are watching us live on YouTube right now, youtube.com/FSU Weather. Go ahead and check out the other shows from this week. And also follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather as well. I hope to see you guys all next week as we're going to continue on the show starting Monday night. And just continue to watch throughout the week, be able to keep up with us. And don't forget to send us pictures if you have any cool weather pictures as well. We love to post those. But I'm student meteorologist Jessica Kirk with FSU Weather. Have a great night.